I've been in tech for more than a decade and I've helped more than 600 people switch to tech. And if I was starting from scratch today without a degree and with no experience, I wouldn't do what most people are telling you. Whether it's getting IT certifications, buying Udemy courses, or mass applying on Indeed for jobs, I hate to break it to you, but these are the exact things that are keeping you stuck. And I get it, because I used to be in the same boat. I used to feel like tech was this exclusive club that I would never get an invitation to. Like everyone knew more than I did. And honestly, the imposter syndrome never really goes away, even after a decade of being in tech, building my own consultancy, working with Fortune 500s, startups, and government agencies. But after looking back today, I've learned that those barriers that we all think are stopping us from getting what we want, most of them aren't real. And if I could go back and start over today, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't follow the traditional advice, because in 2026, the rules of the game have changed. AI is here. The job market isn't the same anymore. Companies aren't hiring like they were in 2020, but this creates a goldmine of opportunity for anyone who understands what it really takes. In this video, I'm going to hand you the only blueprint you need to follow to finally break into tech in just 7 simple steps. Here is the first mistake that everyone makes. They pick a tech job purely based on advice from someone they know or the new thing that's trending right now. And then 6 months later, they realize nobody's actually hiring beginners for that role. For example, you can't break into AI and become an AI engineer in just a few months. It's way too complex and they're not hiring beginners. Instead, I recommend spending a day or two just scanning the job market and looking at the opportunities available for beginners. Not what's the best tech career, but what companies are actually hiring for right now. And I'd go to LinkedIn specifically for entry-level tech roles. Now, don't apply yet, just look. What roles are appearing? What are companies actually hiring for? What are they listing as their requirements? You're going to start seeing patterns which will help you choose a path. The point is, don't learn what sounds great on paper. Learn what companies in your area are actually hiring for. Because there's no point spending 6 months learning something when every job wants 5 years of experience and a PhD. Step 2. Start learning the skills. Alright, so you've identified what's in demand. Now people think that they need to go to university for 4 years and spend over $100,000 to get the skills that they need. This is wrong. In fact, the job market for graduates has never been worse than it is today. And you can learn most of the things that you need to get started in tech for free online. And there's so many free resources now and tutorials on YouTube that introduce you to these new tech careers. And you have AI now as well, ChatGPT, Claude. You can literally ask it to help you with anything, whether it's a project idea or just troubleshooting when you're stuck. Use these tools to your advantage because they're very powerful. This is the age of learning from home, and you just need a good Wi-Fi connection and a laptop and you're good to go. And if you're still thinking that I have to get a degree, I can't possibly get hired without it, I can literally name you students inside of my Cloud Engineer Academy that didn't have any degree or any prior tech experience, but are now working in tech. Whether it's John, who got hired at AWS, Mac, who's earning over $165K at AWS, there's Silas, who was working at a charity and is now a platform engineer, and even Jay Martinez, who is a former banker turned AWS cloud engineer. And if you're serious about breaking into tech, then book a call with my team where we can walk you through exactly how we can help you, just like we have with over 600 students. But whether you go that route or not, here is what you need to understand about how hiring actually works in tech. When I'm hiring for roles inside of my own companies, I skip past the degrees entirely. You know what I actually look for? Real work, tangible results. Proof that you can actually do the job. And here is the problem that most people face after learning online. They have the skills, but no way to prove it. Not many employers are going to just take your word for it that you know Python or understand data analysis. They want the evidence. So how do you get that evidence without already having the job? Well, that's where step 3 comes in. If you don't have the real experience of working in tech, then what's the best way to simulate that environment? It's actually doing the work for free. Now let me explain. You've been learning for a few weeks. You're not an expert by all accounts, but you know enough to build things that can help someone. I'd first start by building a side project for myself. It doesn't have to be anything special, but it should solve a specific problem. For example, you can build something that automates a repetitive task that you do every week that will just save you time. But the ultimate test is putting yourself out there. And if I was starting from scratch, I'd actually find local businesses that need help with whatever skill that I'm learning. Let's say you are learning how to build websites. I know it's 2025, but they're still very useful and people make good money from them, so just stick with me. Find local businesses in your area that you know don't have a web presence online, right? Because most local businesses rely on referrals and word of mouth. So you can come in and offer to help them for free in return for being able to use them as a case study. I know I've simplified it, but you can basically take any technical skill and offer your services to people that you know or businesses in your area. It's not that difficult. It's just a numbers game, and you only need one yes to get started. The key is you're solving an actual problem for actual businesses or people. And when they say yes, you document everything. Take before and after screenshots, track the results. For example, I helped this bakery organize their inventory system, cut their ordering time by 40%. Here is how I did it. That becomes a real case study for your CV. Now, when you're applying for jobs, you're not saying, I have a few IT certifications. You are saying, I've helped these local businesses improve their operations with technology. Here's exactly what I did and the results that I achieved. And psychologically, this eliminates your fear of not being qualified because you've already done the work. You've already solved the real problems, and the confidence that gives you is invaluable. Now, there's something to be said that once you start solving problems for businesses, they will refer you to other people that they know, but we are looking to break into tech. So you're going to need something more stable with more predictable income. And that's when you need to utilize your existing network to help you get a referral for a job. Now, everyone thinks that they need to network with strangers on LinkedIn and send cold messages to recruiters. And while that can work, you're actually ignoring the easiest path sitting right in front of you. The people that you already know. And I don't just mean your friends. I mean everyone. Your family, people from your old job, your neighbors. Someone in that circle either works in tech or knows someone who does. Guaranteed. Check your Instagram and start messaging people saying that you're looking for a tech job and would love to be introduced to someone that might be able to help you, and attach your resume with your portfolio. They are people that you already know, so they're way more likely to actually help you. And don't feel embarrassed about reaching out or asking for a referral. This is very common in life and in business. A lot of jobs are never posted online because companies are hiring internally, or they just bring candidates in through referrals. And yeah, sure, most people won't even respond. That is fine because you only need one yes. Just make sure that you chase them up because one message isn't enough. And that one conversation will then lead to another, then another, and before you know it, you've got a referral for a tech job because you were resourceful. Now, the brutal truth is, yes, you've put yourself out there locally and some people in your network know you exist. But outside of that bubble, nobody knows you. That's why you need to post and document everything publicly from day one. Just talk about what you're building, what you've tried, what worked and what didn't work. You don't need to go viral on TikTok doing stupid dances, right? Just be active and show that you are a real person that exists. I know that might sound crazy, but we've got so many bots everywhere now, especially on Twitter, and more than 90% of hiring managers look on LinkedIn when they are hiring. So if they're looking for a specific job, you want to make sure that you are on their radar. And if you're invisible, then you can't expect them to find you. Join communities on these platforms and start connecting with real people. Provide value in there and offer to work for free. This is super underrated now, and I can see this inside of my own community. I've hired people from inside of my own community to work on projects for me. It's a win-win. And over time, you start building real relationships with people, and suddenly opportunities just start falling into your lap. Here is something nobody talks about, but it's one of the biggest opportunities right now. Everyone is isolated. Everyone's inside of their phones, doom scrolling on TikTok, sending LinkedIn messages that's getting ignored. Nobody wants to leave their house. Right now, there's tech meetups, conferences, local networking events. They're happening almost every single week, and almost all of your competition isn't going to them, which means if you're willing to actually show up in person, you have a massive advantage. But don't just go to events and then stand in a corner on your phone. Yes, it might be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but maybe you can find a friend that will go with you. Just show up, meet people, network, speak about what you're building, and take things from there. Also, don't just start pitching or asking for favors from anyone straight away. Once they hear about what you're getting up to, naturally, you'll be on the forefront of their mind in the future. And to be honest, you'd be shocked how many people actually want to help. I've had my own students get jobs because they were going to these networking and tech events, and obviously they've had something to speak about because they were building their skill sets in a thriving community. So yeah, networking in person is definitely an untapped opportunity right now. So here is the final step. And it's the one that separates people who actually break in from people who stay stuck talking about it for years. I would enter monk mode. This is a period, let's say 90 days, where you eliminate every distraction and focus completely on this one goal. Not casually, not as a side project, as your primary focus. Delete the social media apps from your phone, keep your accounts for posting your journey and networking, but then remove the temptation to scroll. Put your phone in another room when you're learning. Wake up at the same time every single day. Treat this like an actual job. Set daily non-negotiables non-negotiables that you track in a spreadsheet. For example, 1 hour focused learning or building, one piece of content that you've shared about what you've learned, one person from your network contacted, 10 applications sent off. Just track everything and go all in. When you're in this monk mode, you start building new habits and rewiring your brain to really focus on this one goal, so that when opportunities find their way to you, you're ready to grab them with both hands. Now, the worst thing would be that you get the right opportunity come your way, but you weren't actually ready for it. That's why monk mode is great, because it puts you in this focus zone with only one mission. Now, I've got a bonus one for you guys that are still here. If I'm applying for jobs right now, I'd avoid all platforms except LinkedIn. It's the best place for you to get hired right now. Apply for roles there, and then find the hiring managers on LinkedIn and send them a message attaching your resume, telling them that you've applied for the role and you look forward to hearing back from them. Now, actually do this for the next 100 jobs that you apply to, and then let me know what happens in a comment section down below. It sounds so basic, but doing this alone drastically increases your chances of getting a reply, because it puts you on the top of the pile of candidates. If your resume and projects are good, then you just have to go out of your way to ensure that someone sees it. So this is one way to do that. And look, I think most people fail because they either never try, or they don't try for long enough to start benefiting from their daily compounding. Ask yourself, can you put in unreasonable amount of work that it becomes virtually impossible for you not to get hired? It probably won't even take that much, but if you commit to doing that and accepting this new reality, everything else becomes much easier. And if you're thinking, but the job market is terrible, AI is taking jobs, there are layoffs everywhere, is this even worth it? Yes, there have been layoffs, but you know who's been getting laid off. People who are coasting, middle managers providing no value, people doing repetitive work that AI can automate. The people getting hired, these are people who can solve real problems, people who bring fresh perspectives, people who are focused on delivering real value. And about AI, yes, it's changing things, but it's not replacing people who think and solve problems. If you're learning alongside AI, using it as a tool to learn faster and build better and become more powerful, you'll just be fine. If you commit to these 7 steps in monk mode for 90 days, the chances of you not breaking into tech are basically zero. So you've mapped real opportunities instead of learning random skills. You start learning from free resources, and then you build the proof by helping real businesses. You've leveraged your existing network, you've built your journey in public, you've showed up in person where everyone else was hiding, and you've committed fully with structure and daily execution. The only question now is when you start. Today, tomorrow, next month, because the sooner that you start, the quicker you'll be in a role. And yes, it might seem a little bit scary, but what's worse is being in the exact same place as you are today because you let fear keep you stuck from even giving it a go. As always, I'm rooting for you. Good luck.